What's up, YouTube? Gonna look at, well, got a lot of trucks. I'll say that in one car. Really cool stuff. Stuff I usually don't find. And also an anticipated Kaido House. So we'll take a look at that too. Let's look at what I found on the pegs. I guess this is gonna be a pretty popular truck already. There was a first wave that hit, I guess. Walmart and whatever else carries these, but one at 8250. It's not a chase, but this one is going to be super popular. And I saw these on the shelf. Two of them. I got one. I looked at both of them closely because a lot of times M2 could have some factory defects. So let's open it up. Let's open it up. Let's see what we got. Now, we've been through the dually before. We've seen the step side casting as well. So we'll just go ahead and get this open. It's really cool packaging. I'll probably keep this packaging. A lot of times I end up selling these larger cases because a lot of people like them for customs and stuff. So I'll sell them on eBay. At the MIGS eBay account, I got stuff on there I just let sit sometimes. Depends on what I feel like getting rid of. Problem is, a lot of the stuff I have, it's hard to part with some of it. A lot of these vehicles I like. I don't hoard stuff really. So it's not like I have like hundreds of one item that I want to get rid of. So it's really just on a case-by-case basis. And maybe after a while of holding on to it, then I decide to part with it. So let's take a look. I should be able to get this out with my hands. Careful with this. I'll tell you one thing, even though these are creeping up in price, I mean, they used to be like 15, 16 bucks, and now they're up to almost 20. And over 20 with taxes most of the time, depending on what state you're in. They probably did this scheme. Black and gold is really cool, but also you got to do a double take to see if it's an actual chase. Really great setup. I think a lot of people are going to want this one. It's probably one of the few dualies I might keep that little like mini sleeper thing and wind deflector on there. Tan interior. Let's take them off. Good thing about the non-lifted M2s is we'll just use the screws that are on the bottom. It goes right on the vehicle. Take the trailer off as well. I'll probably keep this setup intact. I'm not gonna customize it or anything. And it'll be up on the shelf as a match set. Because this will be like the Squarebody stuff. It'll be pretty famous set. It'll probably go. They're already trying. People are already trying to get too much money for these already. So I'll deal with putting the screws back together and everything here in a minute. Let's move this over here so I don't lose any pieces. So what do we have here? Let's take a look. Well, this is supposed to be a what year? 76. So they're both 76 pickups. All blacked out. They tint the tail lights. Oh. Yeah. It's kind of like a funny way they tinted it, though. I think they sprayed something on them, depending on how the light hits them. Usually these M2s roll pretty good. Problems with the lower crew cabs is the clearance issue here is a little tight. So I think what I usually do is, I haven't altered one in a while, is you got to shim the back a little bit. Oh, actually, that's what I do. I remember now. We shim the base to the body. So when you unscrew the base, you just put a washer on top of these, little tiny washer. I make mine out of plastic. Let's take a look what engine's in here. So unpainted, but it looks like one of the blown LS motors. Factory blown, I think LS7, LS9, something like that, whatever. Non-turboed. Just supercharged, looks like. Now this is with plastic, so let's take that off real quick. Still has a metal base. It's unfortunate that the two-door base dualies are, or the base for those two-door dualies are plastic. I have a couple of these. That's what the other piece went. A couple of those like little half sleeper deals. But I don't know. This is real. These crew cab trucks, they have that as an accessory. The square body trucks, the Fords, Dodges back in the day, they had those. Wide one on a flat trailer, probably not so much, but definitely one that's box trailer for sure. Yeah. So this is pretty cool. I'm glad I got it. The gold on these wheels, I feel like I should paint it a little bit brighter. It's kind of like matte gold, and it's quite dark. So, I don't know how much I want to keep that color. But the truck itself is cool. Definitely have more Chevy crew cabs than GMC. So it's nice to see the GMC. Headlights need to be pushed in a little bit. They're sticking out a little bit too much. So we'll get those pushed in. Maybe we'll get some ink for the GMC part on the grill. The other thing that might make this grill look better is if we look at the grill, it's looking a little toyish just because it's all flat black. I think a semi-gloss or gloss along the grill portion here, and the inserts here would be the flat. I think that would make it a little bit more realistic. I think if this was a truck painted in real life, I'm sure that they'd have that gloss. Bumpers would be gloss, so it would be the same color as, or the same shade or the same reflection as the rest of the truck. So I think that'll be a change. I said I didn't want to change it, but I think I'll change that. And at the minimum, most of the trucks didn't have color keyed steering wheels. They usually were black. Some were, but a lot of them were black. So we'll probably paint the steering column in black, the shifter black, and all that. Get that cleaned up in there. I do like the tan interior, but it's a little bright. So maybe we'll fix that a little bit, tone it down slightly. Probably would look good with a darker brown, and I have a color in mind for this, so I might do that. So that's what happens when I look at these vehicles. I kind of don't want to touch them, just because this one's pretty collectible, but I think some detailing would help. And if I get it looking good, we'll post it up on Instagram. Next vehicle is the step side. We have plenty of these in the collection, but this one's pretty unique looking. Very trick looking. We could probably clean up those taillights. Excuse me. The side of this taillight, I'm gonna probably paint that black and then just leave this insert for blue, or excuse me, red. Okay, let's look at some other stuff. Back it up. Oh, one more thing. Let's take this. Same motor. Crooked blower. So, actually, you know what? What's going on with that? Because it's got a intake manifold. What are we looking at? What's the difference? This obviously looks like a modern. Is that the same base? Close. No. Yeah, that one's got an intake manifold on it. Like an older engine. It's kind of weird. I don't know if that's supposed to be like some fancy air cleaner or what. Huh. Well, guess we'll never know. Alright. Haha. Let's look at some more stuff. Well, let's start. We're gonna do like what we might want to coin a mainline mini GT, which is just like, you know, the regular mini GTs. Kaido House, the construction's a little bit different, a little bit higher materials, I guess, because they use the aluminum wheels or the steel wheel barrels. So I got the Miho exclusive one. It's distributed by M&J Toys. People buy these. I mean, the clamshell, I just got this casting late. I would have probably preferred the overseas packaging with just the box by itself, but whatever. Really cool car. So Hyundai has been pretty coming up in World Rally for quite a while, and it's now starting to get pretty up there in terms of performance on the track, or on the courses, I guess you'd call them. They're not really tracks. This car is about a 3,000 pound car. They went to hybrid drive on WRC in 2022, and amazing, you know, about 400 horse, and then you also have another 130 horse of electrical power. So your electric motor also produces that. So like 132 foot-pounds of torque, and then on the gas engine, over 300 foot-pounds of torque. So 3,000 pound car, all-wheel drive. Unlike some hybrid drivetrains on other race series, it's cool that depending on where you're driving or what kind of conditions or road surface or whatever you're doing, the hybrid's kind of tuned to that situation instead of it being more like dynamic on demand. It's kind of like built into the kind of programming. Or so I was reading. It was kind of interesting how they use hybrid power in the rally cars. It's kind of cool. Now, on the casting itself, Mini GT is really good. Everybody that gets these cars loves them. This one really high quality out of the box. The wheels and tires, one of my go-to things that I look at. How it rolls and any wobbly issues. Nothing on this casting. I didn't touch it at all. I really, really like to see the trueness in the wheels. They have a great amount of detail even on the sidewall of the tire. Pirelli makes the tires for the series, or at least for the Hyundai team, because they publish the specs on their website, which is kind of nice. But yeah, they use Pirelli stuff. So these are the complete tarmac. These are like slicks. No detail on the chassis, but you know, this car could have us an underbody tray on it like this, so you don't necessarily have to see a chassis detail. Left-hand drive car. Of course, we have the rally setup where we move the seat back and steering column out, you know. Roll cage. I-20 really is like the Elantra in the States, though they dropped the Elantra GT, so we don't really have the hatchback here. It's unfortunate, but they make the I-20N overseas. Really cool car. We have the Elantra N here, but which that does well in race series here. But this is really quite the car. You could see the cooler right sticking out there. Graphics are great. Just a great scale model. And the degree of accuracy is really nice. You know, you used to have to at least do 1/43rd, 1/18th on these cars, 1/24 scale. Which I have a bunch of releases at 1/24 scale from vintage, I think Group B, right? Every time I group B cars, whatever. So I think we might show those on the channel. I just want to get them on the channel. It might not be a big watch for everybody, but it's certainly cool to look at the detail you get for a car that's retails between 20 and 40 bucks. I mean, it's amazing. But these are great too. This car's running about $15-16 plus shipping. Most mini GTs, you know, if they're kind of hanging around the shelves, can go down as low as $8. If you want to get your first mini GT, if you shop online, a lot of the ones that are the older releases, they're kind of cars that not everybody wants. So mini GTs sometimes can go that cheap, and if you want to see get a feel for the brand and want to spend a lot of money, try it out. You might like it. But I'm converted, and but I mean, I'm not a completist by any sense of the imagination, but some of the castings that they make that are unique or interesting, I'll get. I probably still want that Porsche, the green Porsche, the Rexy mini GT version, just to have with the Hot Wheels Premium, but that's just because I think that's interesting. Not a huge Porsche person, although I did put some of my collection up on Instagram. But mostly, you know, it's hot rods, muscle cars, pickup trucks, that's kind of stuff. SUVs, like old school SUVs, I like that. But this is pretty cool too. I have a few of these. So this will look good with the stock Hyundais that I have from Mini GT. All right, moving on. Let's look at some square bodies. Really cool stuff. This one I did open already because it was in the collection a little bit longer than this next one that we'll look at. But this is cool. This has also been out a lot longer than the two-tone truck. So we'll look at this first. This is my first Kaido House Dually. This truck seems to be smaller than my M2 Dually truck. So we'll look at that just so everybody can get a feel for it. I have not altered this truck yet. I want to show everybody what it looks like from the package, but this will be changed slightly. I've decided not to leave it alone. I love the graphics, so that's everything staying there. But one thing I probably will change, and I'm going to do it on this one as well. We'll see what I think about the brown one. We'll probably do the same thing. I think I talked about this in other videos. Gonna get this off. So we're going to take the truck apart, and we're going to get the windows out, and we're going to take the silver trim off in this area here. We'll leave the wing window, quarter window alone up to that point. And once that silver gets out of there, I think that'll look a lot better. Just a little nitpick for me personally. Nothing that most normal people would not even care to deal with. That's just me. They did good. They put they chromed the drip rail on the rain channel, or whatever you want to call it. But this doesn't need trim, so I don't need to look at that. So we're going to get that off, but we'll do that later. This is extremely nice. Again, perfect rolling. I've had maybe one of the Kaido House I've gotten had a issue with the wheel, but it was easily fixed. It wasn't anything wrong, broken, or anything like that. It was just misaligned. This is very, very nice. I haven't touched this whatsoever. A little bit unrealistic on the wheel choice for a dually, unless it's a full straight out, like we're going to build a race truck, which this is probably more like, or something in that realm with the high performance parts. So I get it. Very, very skinny wheels. Extremely skinny. The wheel well, of course, is the same cat that's on the other trucks, so we have a lot of space for rim. This is going to get moved out, so we'll leave everything alone wheel-wise. We'll just move it out, shim it, and we'll be good to go. I probably will index this a little bit, too, on the back spacing. So this will come out a little bit, not much more. It's not bad. It does look kind of cool like that, so I might leave it, but this definitely needs to come out. It doesn't look too bad when we're doing this, but, you know, this view, it's not working. I mean, it almost looks like it's a funny car, but I don't think this is supposed to be like a fiberglass body truck like that. So, you know, that's very true if when they do the tube chassis and have the difference, you know, it's just I know you could have a fiberglass front clip on it, doghouse could be like that, but it's really not. Twin turbo LS. Really, really clean setup in this vehicle. All silver. Some of the motors are like this one. So that one looks kind of cool too. But really, really nice. And then anodized red. So the chassis red is different than the truck, which is nice. So it's like its own color. And then, of course, we have our anodized base. I do like the polished exhaust. A little bit better than the black exhaust. This is a cool truck. This truck, actually, since it's a pocket vehicle for me, I think at this point, this is going to... I'm probably going to take this off. This is coming off. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to take the Chevrolet badge off. I basically just want to have the color on the truck and the trim and the sleeve. Everything else is coming out. I might even take this black piece off, too. That'll clean up the truck a little bit. Maybe take the white walls away. Maybe take the brow off. I don't know. I might leave that. But that'll get changed. Might take the black stripe off here. Leave just that. We'll see. We'll see. I could probably buy another one of these. The white ones are probably the hardest right now to get because they made these over the last year. This was the first release, I think. Then we have also that blue one. But maybe if I find another white one, maybe I'll be more in tune to take the graphics off this a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see. I also kind of want to do this and have it all white. But I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking out loud. All right, let's get back to the last truck. Now, this truck just mailman came and gave it to me. This thing is awesome. So this is what I've been waiting for. I wanted the stock color on this truck forever. I think they get it now. So hopefully they'll do another color scheme, but the brown and tan, everybody loves that. This is sealed, so very, very unlikely, but if it depends on the kind of seller. I guess there's a way to tell. Kaido House Chase. There's a certain something that happens to the package, I guess. I didn't pay attention on that YouTube I watched whether he said anything about how you could tell or not, or he was just like, I know, but I can't say, I can't remember. But I didn't pay attention because, I mean, most of the time the Chase vehicles are listed as such, and unless you buy a case of these, which is like super expensive, you really don't, I don't know. So we'll see. It could be a Chase. I mean, I've seen people on social media buy them, just like, oh, I want to get one, and they get a Chase. So I thought it'd be fun to just do it live on well, not live, but I guess on there. I'm no editing. So obviously Mini GT is nice because it is licensed. There has been brands that don't license, but they're cool anyway. Same box on the inside. Just has I put my other boxes and my other Kaido House stuff elsewhere. This is not a Chase, so there we go. So I don't have to buy two. Chase is good and bad because you gotta buy two because you gotta Chase, and then you really can't play with it that much. I mean, I don't take Chases out of the package, so unfortunately I don't do that. I should do it because I open everything else, but I don't with the Chases. All right. This thing is exactly what I wanted. This is awesome, this truck. I just love the stock look. They have the tan interior. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Basically, you have like custom rallies, which were on the other truck. Black exhaust on this, which is kind of cool because you can't really tell it's over here because it's black. Hitch. What we got on there? What does that say? Get paid. Very funny. Tailgate moves on these. Seem to add a little bit of a snap there finally. Stock back end. Basically a completely stock truck exterior. Yeah. This one is awesome. They do the brown. Yep. So the brown separation line on the grill. What do we got here on the... Got a little bit of a chrome issue. I thought that was a crack. That's good. I can live with that. This is chroming that got a little bit out of hand there. And then on the bottom of this spoiler, got a little chipped. Alright, let's see what kind of motor we got in here. Of course, we got those soft mirrors that are almost annoying because even though they're soft, they won't break immediately. If you work them too hard, they will break. So we'll see how much I can keep those mirrors on this. This is going to be I probably should get a second one of these to have. That'll stay non-messed up. Bed's nice and even, and there's a nice gap in the bed. So that was another thing that this brand probably does the best with the beds. There's that nice gap. I don't see it as well on this one, but it's still there. So it's got a good bed gap in it. Nice stock bed gap. Let's see if there's any issues with these wheels. Seems good to me. This back one might be a little bit crooked. I can fix that though. Sometimes when they put the barrels on the post of the wheel, they just get a little tweaked. But since the metal is always really true, unlike plastic that can be molded kind of off center or kind of lumpy, the metal always comes back straight. So yeah, this is a sweet truck. Awesome stuff. So hope everybody enjoyed the show. Lots to look forward to in 2025, of course. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. Everybody's out there collecting and enjoying the hobby, I hope. Don't get too serious. I'll tell you this, a lot of stuff, now maybe not this stuff because there's a finite amount, but you know, when we're getting upset about the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox and all that stuff, it's okay. It always comes back to us. The only thing that we miss is being first, but it won't be last, because if you look out for a vehicle and you just put in the legwork and you're not going crazy and you take a deep breath, just because you don't get it the first week, but you get it the third month, when that happens a lot with Diecast, you're going to get it. So I've always found cars I've wanted. And the ones I haven't gotten, when I can think about the ones that you really want, because a lot of times what you want builds and then it fades away. And then there's some cars that you know always wanted, that you always burn for, but you'll find those too. But I'm going to tell you this, a lot of the cars that you want to put in the collection but they're not must-haves, you'll find them. Believe me, you will. Just kind of keep out there, keep the faith. Now, more cars to come, but we had some good ones today. We certainly did. Comments and new subscriptions. If you're watching the channel but not subscribed, please subscribe. We got to grow the channel. Let's get to 10,000. And then from there, who knows? But for right now, we're going to see more cars coming down the way. Hope everybody does well in their collecting. Coming up, more vehicles. Till next time.